Okay, stream is started. Let's see if we can get some stats up there. It looks like we're going. Okay, so Reaperman here, and today we have something a little surprising. It is the first day that the PlayStation 1 core, it's the release date for it, from MiSTer. So we come down here, we go into PSX, and let's have a look at this PSX core together. This thing actually seems to be, reasonably fleshed out here. I've seen a little bit of a problem, but I don't know if it's maybe my ROM or what. So let's go in here, and today for a controller I've got the 8-bit DOE SN30 because it's got all of the buttons I'm going to need. So let's go in and have a look at this thing first here. It's got the memory card functions. We got these up here, the Pad 1 DualShock. I'll get into a little bit more about the DualShock mode. That's what you're going to have to do to turn on analog, by the way. So we want to keep the FPS overlay off because it's kind of annoying. Let's see, audio and video. Right now I'm running with basically everything stock. We're going to play around with this dithering and maybe not the de-interlacing setting. It's got bob and weave for choices there. So let's back out here. And in the miscellaneous settings, we've got all of the, pretty much looks kind of like fast load functions for the CD here. So let's go ahead and get into a game, and let's have a look at it here. And just a reminder, this is the MiSTer FPGA system. So it's just kind of a big old, I guess, FPGA recreation of how this thing is supposed to go. And let's go with Ridge Racer Revolution because it's a big, bright game, and it's going to let us have a look at that dithering setting here. Now this came in with the latest MiSTer updates, so run your update all script, and if you notice, it just kind of, every time it kind of transitions, for like a frame or so, it kind of forgets its scaling and hops a little bit, but that's way better than what my FrameMeister does. Ooh. Forgot about this part. If you get all of them, then it gives you access to more cars. Boom. One more, I think. Oh, geez. Nope, no access to the extra cars. And that, I believe, is the only loading screen in Ridge Racer Revolution. It's kind of neat that way. So now Ridge Racer games, they all drive different. They all kind of drive a little bit wrong. So I'm going to try and remember how this one goes. If I recall, you just keep gas mashed the whole time and you never let up on it, or you're going to slide, drift. And you just kind of mash the brakes while you're gassing in this thing. Which is, let's just kind of get around here. And this is moving along at a good pace. And it sounds pretty good. I've got the volume a little bit low in the room here, but you guys can probably hear it much better than me on the video or the stream here. And I will make this stream available later. I'll chapter it out, and oh gosh, can you tell that I am rusty at this one? Revolution is actually my favorite of the Ridge Racer games, just period. Even the modern ones that went kind of simulation, I still prefer Revolution. This is the one that has kind of the look of the old original game here. Alright, now if we can see that checkerboard pattern all over, everything. Let's go ahead and pause the game here for a second and have a look at that checkerboard pattern all over everything down there. And let's go into the menu now, and let's go ahead and turn that off, which is a really neat thing that we're able to do. I think we just go into video here, and we turn off the dithering. Boom, and all of a sudden this is a lot cleaner. Now the signal that this thing outputs is going to be an interlace signal, and we've got two choices for de-interlacing. We've got weave and bob. Here's weave, and there is bob. This isn't really a good time to see between them. It seems like in a lot of the higher res situations, bob can be just a little bit overwhelming on the old eyes here. So let's go ahead and let's get back here. Oh, and to activate analog mode on the controllers, you hit L3, R3, and up at the same time, up or down, and that switches analog on. Or if you hit down, it switches digital on. So that's your that's your way to switch that. But of course, we actually want this digital, because that is just how this game rolls here. And whoop, as I inadvertently grabbed the analog stick. So now we're enjoying this thing a little bit brighter because the dithering is off, that little checkerboarding pattern. And on a CRT, you really wouldn't see that checkerboard pattern. Ah, I lifted. Never lift in this game, guys. Never lift in this game. Keep your foot all the way on the gas as you fully apply the brakes. At least until you get good enough to actually drift, which is definitely not me. I am in 6th place. And if I recall, I really want to be kind of on the left up here. A little bit of a canned animation. I think there's a little partial wall. There it is. Wow, this looks really good. And we'll just kind of head down here. This is moving along nice and smooth, sounds right, looks right, feels right. Not the biggest fan of this 8-bit DOE controller. It's got kind of a wonky D-pad, but then so do PlayStation's. Okay, moving around here. Oh, came up at him real fast. I think we're going into probably the last lap here. And this thing actually corners pretty much like you're on rails. And it feels a lot like that because the car actually, viewpoint actually twists a bit in this game, so it feels like the rails are holding you down even. Oh, wow. Brakes. It's just such a beautiful level here. Oops. And there's 2nd place. Air combat billboard, so that should give you an idea where that, what era this is from here, because Air Combat 2 was Ace Combat, the name it goes by to this day. Aww. Truthfully, I did not deserve to win that level.
That was a tough race. Go after the checkered flag next time.
But I am looking forward to trying this thing again, so let's go. And yes, we will get into some other games here. I've got Gran Turismo 2, and I've got Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and I've actually got Air Combat 3. That's a game that I found a little bit of a problem with, but I haven't checked yet. It could actually be my dump of the game. It's just a little wonky. That game actually won't start for me. It gets up to the start screen and then just kind of the whole thing freezes. Oh yeah, we're doing much better this time around. Famous last words. Oh. And we'll do some braking. Oh. It's hard to get a feel for how sharp these cars turn. And every one of these games handles differently. What's really neat is in Ridge Racer 64, if you ever get a chance to try that one, they give you a choice of handling models, and I think they give you the handling models for the first 3 Ridge Racer games, and also kind of like I believe an N64 exclusive one. And that's the only acknowledgement that I've seen that these games all handle way differently. Of course, the later games handle considerably more differently too. Once they kind of went a little bit more simulation for a while. Whoop. And a couple of them had like stories, like single player campaign stories with cutscenes that were just a little bit excessive. I think the best thing about Ridge Racer, though, is just how, whoop, oh, lifted there. It was a reflex. I should never have done it. But Ridge Racer is always the racing franchise that doesn't take itself as seriously as a lot of the other ones do, and I do love it for that. While at the same time, it is actually a pretty serious game if you get into time trialing it and that kind of stuff. Holy jeez, you know, this FPGA core, it makes me forget that I'm sitting here on a MiSTer. And I know that's kind of MiSTer's shtick, is that you kind of forget you're playing it and you kind of start thinking you're playing the real thing. But I never expected it to happen with PlayStation. Oh, this is nice. So one thing I do regret not bringing over is there's a demo disc that came with the fourth Ridge Racer game, the last one on PlayStation. And it's like a remaster of the first Ridge Racer game, except it's in 60 FPS, and it's kind of a, you know, fewer cars on track kind of thing. But they actually got the game running in 60 FPS, which was just a minor miracle at the time. I am a little curious as to the frame rate on this. Tell you what we're going to do is we're going to pause, and we're actually going to turn on the frame rate, because I don't think this thing is supposed to actually pull 60 FPS. No, I think it's locked at 30 here. So we will go back, and then we will boom. Yeah, this thing's locked to 30 FPS. Still, 30 FPS was considered very, very smooth for the time. And I do have some other footage on my channel of me capturing the full 60 FPS version of Ridge Racer 1 from the demo disc. You know, somehow I actually did worse in this second race, but it felt like I was going a lot faster, didn't it? Okay, and it looks like we got 60 FPS on the menu screen. Let's just leave that frame counter up there. Just be aware that Ridge Racer Revolution is kind of is a 30 FPS game. So let's go ahead and let's load up a different game here. And I hope I don't lose the capture doing this, because sometimes I do. We'll get to Gran Turismo later, because I want to spend a lot more time with that one. I'm going to have to find a way to turn off music, though, because I know it's got licensed tunes. Let's go and we can do some Symphony of the Night. Not a lot of it, but just kind of a little bit. Oh, good, we kept sync on that one. I know sometimes the PlayStation switching resolutions, especially here at the beginning of games, it'll drop my capture device off. And I guess the screen will just go black and I'll keep talking like I don't notice it until I notice it. And we're still capturing. And I haven't had a lot of time to play around with things like save games. I'm just going to assume that kind of works for now. So we'll go File Select. Yeah, we'll pick up a new game. A P E R. Beautiful. I'm one of those weirdos that really likes the Saturn version of this game, because Maria is just she's kind of like a fighting game character. She's got all these quarter circle moves to her, and she's like dragon kicks through the first boss. Like one hits the bottom half of the first boss. It's amazing. I got another video of that on my system here. So this apparently is 15 FPS video. I'm actually quite glad we got the counter on now. This always was a bit chunky. For those unfamiliar with playing the thing on real hardware, because we're spoiled a little bit these days with our emulation solutions. Doing video just fine, doing CD audio just fine. It's a good core. It's a good core so far. After this, maybe we'll look at the Ace Combat game Alright, now it's time to lose to Dracula. There's a little thing. Yes. Well, my brain's not completely screwed up yet. I cannot for the life of me remember what was up here, though. I've got a dark shield, firebrand. Okay. Okay. I'm not actually sure if I'm supposed to equip those or what the deal is, but let's just go and get our butts kicked by Dracula here. We'll get the whole cheesy cutscene and the cup of lies or something.
Die, monster! You don't belong in this world!
It was not by my hand that I'm once again given flesh. I was called here by humans who wish to pay me tribute.
That's some nice overacting.
You steal men's souls and make them your slaves.
Perhaps the same could be said of all religions.
Your words are as empty as your soul.
Come on,
Mankind ill needs a savior such as you.
Say it.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. Have at you.
Yes, have at me. And again, we're not going to go through too much of this. We're just demonstrating the FPGA core. Where is he? Oh, I screwed that up. So I've got to hit him in the head. I think I'm going to lose to this guy. He's got 2 health bars here. Alrighty. But yeah, it does well on 2D, does well on 3D. I'm just supposed to be ducking for this. There's a little bit of a rainbow effect when the shaft lights up. Maybe that's just... I don't know if that's going to come through on the capture. Not entirely sure that's supposed to be there. Maybe an effect of the deinterlacing. The weave deinterlace. You're just gonna keep coming back to the same spot? No. Oh no. Well, now I should be able to beat him. I'm flashing. So yeah, if you have a MiSTer FPGA, go ahead and pick this thing up. I mean, it's not like it's not free. Well worth the money. Okay. Oh man, I'm starting to get bored playing this guy. So the frame counter up at the top is locked at 60. No.
be.
Okay, I promise not to subject you guys to too much of the intro here, but I do want to play up until death. Not my death, death's appearance. Ah, looks like we got some folks in the chat over there. It's a little far for me to read. Looks like we got Chad and Adam Lloyd. It is a spectacular core, Adam Lloyd. This is Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and I did briefly try the other Castlevania on here, the Chronicles, and that also seemed to work, at least for the first 20 seconds or so. I haven't really had a time to sit down and really get into this one here. And, no, there is no skipping this text scroll, everybody. Sorry about that. Let's see if we can... Let's go down into the deinterlace settings. Let's try the other one out for a bit here. So we got Weave on, that's the default. Let's switch it to Bob. You know what? I expected to see a little bit more of a difference. There were some moments with cursors that were showing some interlace problems on Weave, and they went away with Bob, but then the whole thing was kind of a little bit skippy on my eyes, so it's hard to explain it. But it was definitely more work to look at, so I turned that one off. Alright. And for a controller today, I'm using the 8BitDo SN30 Pro. This is kind of a USB PlayStation-like controller, even though it looks more Super Nintendo. It's got all the PlayStation goodies like L1, L2, R1, R2, that kind of thing. So it's good enough for today, but I will probably want to get one with kind of lobes and horns on it, just to be a little bit more comfortable. All right. And we'll just kind of one-hit everything in here. I know I keep talking about liking Maria on the Saturn version, but she just dragon kicks through this whole thing. Oh, the music seems to be doing good and everything on this. Animations there. Roll through this. Skip the frog section down there, and I think we just meet Death, and I think he's at the end of this room. And yeah, when I upload the pre-recorded version of this thing, I will definitely chapter it out so people won't have to sit through, you know, games they don't care too much about here. Hi, Death. Please take away all my awesome weapons.
What is your business here?
I've come to put an end to this.
Still befriending mortals. I'll not ask you to return to our side, but I demand you cease your attack.
I will not.
You shall regret those words. We will meet again. What?
Well, that's all my stuff gone. And instead of continuing on, I think that I want to take a look at another game. We'll go ahead, and I've got a few other games in here. Wipeout 3, that's usually a fan favorite. I think that one's also locked at 30 FPS. Okay. And we can kind of see what resolution the PlayStation's at, I guess, by the size of the frame counter. PlayStation's got a few resolutions it likes to run. Oh, this is also licensed music, isn't it? I'm not going to be able to play... Well, I can turn the music down somehow, maybe. Go into, whoop. Go into options, audio setup. Output mono, really? That's the default? Sorry everybody, we gotta kill the music. Alright, exit. Save. Memory card slot 1. And yes, when you boot up without a memory card, or without a game in, you can manage memory cards. I do not know how reliable the saves are yet, though. Let's go ahead and... okay, I think this is an analog game, so let's go ahead and L3, R3, and up together. Yep, it's an analog game. Alright, exit. We'll do a single race. Vector, we'll go with... seems to me there should be some stuff going on here, though, huh? There probably should be a model depicted or something like that. This probably should not be text. Oh, well, there we go. Never mind. Come on, come on. And I assure you the music does actually work in this title. As does the rumble. Because I've already felt a rumble in here. Now this is dark. Oh my. Okay, let's see if there's any kind of a under options, let's see if there's a gamma. Widescreen, correction off. Oh, we could crop in and do a wide. Okay, okay. This thing also has its own experimental, I think, widescreen setting in it. Let's see here. It's under video, I believe. Widescreen hack. Let's just see what that does. And I know I'm locked to 4:8 or 16 or 4:3, but okay, 3:2, 5:3. 16:9, okay. It's kind of a horizontal stretch. And it doesn't... well, maybe it'll take UI elements. Kind of doubt it. We'll try it when we're in game. In that case, let's just look for a brighter track then. Vector, that one. Pick this guy. Okay, this is a little brighter anyway. Or is this exactly the same track? I think I consumed that.
Engaged. Disengaging.
All right, moving through. This game is almost no fun with the music turned off like this. But wow, again, a very smooth 30 FPS. I believe this game has always been locked to 30 FPS. Most of these old PlayStation 1 games were. Ah, there's Puker Cam. Yeah, with this thing so quiet, I think that that's about all the streaming I can take of this one here. So let's go ahead and let's pick ourselves a new one here. So Ace Combat 3 is the one I was having trouble with earlier. And everything in this worked fine up until the actual starting of the game here. For some reason it switched my second controller into analog and then just froze up. I can't even... I can do the FPGA stuff, but it's never going to go anywhere but here. So that's just a weird little quirk of that one. Let's see here. I don't want to do Gran Turismo because I would have to turn off the music again, and that's... well... and Gran Turismo is not as important, the music. In Gran Turismo in America, they kind of... Sony Records just kind of makes them put out whatever, you know, the artist du jour is. And I'm pretty sure we got completely different soundtracks than the other regions did. I don't even think it was until Gran Turismo 4 when we actually got to hear the Gran Turismo theme. And yeah, it has one. Alright, so... sound, music volume. Boom. DualShock vibration on. I should analog on. Is that analog on? Yeah, it's analog on. Alright. Oh, let's exit. Start up a new game. Move this a little closer here. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead, and I'm pretty sure East City is all the Japanese cars. And as always, I'm just going to go straight to Mazda. Can't afford a new car, but it's time to do whatever Gran Turismo fan does and buy the most expensive Miata you can afford at the beginning of the game. It's white. That's the only problem. That's going to cost me at least 10 horsepower. Alright, backing out here. And there is, I'm sure, a special event cup for it. So I don't have to do any kind of obnoxious kind of license tests. Oh, it's a clubman stage. Okay. So this is going to be one of those highway stages, I believe. Now I'm really glad that we turned off that dithering because that would be really annoying in a stage like this. Actually, let's go ahead and play with it just to see how much worse it is. Video dithering on. Well, it's there. I mean, it's there in the shadows. I'd still rather without. Okay. And the analog seems to be functioning fine for this. Analog throttle's a little more important in a driving game, but we don't have that. Saturn had that, but I don't think there's any games. I don't think there's anything that has. We might be able to assign the throttle to the other stick, but that's just kind of weird. That's like driving an RC car then. And we're going to Gran Turismo those guys into the wall. No need for brakes when we're in Gran Turismo land. I'm going to try and drop in behind on the train here. He's red, so it automatically makes him faster than me. Too much speed, too wide. carried it through. Ooh. I don't think I'm actually hitting the walls though, because no, I'm not getting. I don't believe I'm getting vibration in this game. I'm not sure why. I was definitely getting it in Wipeout. I must have inadvertently turned it off in that menu that I was in. Because there's no way it wouldn't vibrate when I hit somebody. Bam! This is awfully dark. I guess the brightness of the CRT is really what this was designed for. Maybe there'll be some kind of a gamma. In the core later on, maybe. All right, let's try a different game here. Let's try. Space is also awfully dark. I probably shouldn't try that. Colony Wars, whatever. Alright, and then the sequel to Colony Wars here, this one you're playing as the bad guys from the first game. They got beat up, so they're seeing this from their perspective. If I recall, they got pushed back into their system and their gate got sealed off, and that's the story. I'm not familiar with this as much as the first title, but yeah. That first title's got a weird saving thing where it makes you do like 2 or 3 missions, then you get to save. And it's a little frustrating. And I can't remember if the second game does it too. The third game, you're on neither side. You're actually kind of a freelancer. Skip the video. Really wish Sony would bring this game back, this game series. So this is by Cynosis, and Sony bought Cynosis and turned them into just more Wipeout games and only Wipeout games.
Terrorists, the League of Free Worlds,
They had all kinds of games before.
Sending
Lemmings
to crush and slaughter us.
Destruction Derby, those were actually DMA designs, but they were published by Cynosis, I believe. DMA Designs eventually became Rockstar of Grand Theft Auto fame.
9 planets. 1 sun.
Good, we managed to keep sync. We will log on. Commence. No, I think I can just fly this one. Yeah, whatever this is, fine. Okay. Confirm or go back. Oh.
My name, Merton.
Final clear out of...
There we go. Oh, come on now. Level 1's an escort mission. Oh. Oh, it's so dark. It is not dark like this on a CRT.
Attempting uplink communications to Navy operations. Complete. Communications online.
Whoops.
Mission objectives. Ensure the civilian convoy reaches its destination safely. You are cleared to take offensive actions against any hostile craft.
Objectives understood. Hopefully this will be an easy ride.
Alright, they're shooting at something. Oh, I really wish I could see more detail in my whoop, in my scanner there in the middle. I really should have attended that brief. Are we shooting this thing? That guy looks like me, and it looks like he's shooting this big thing. Alright. Oh. Alright, I either shot the right thing or the wrong thing. This thing's opening the jump gate.
Scans indicate tribal craft approaching.
Oh, more tribe. Anti-shield laser. Blew up my barge.
Navy battleship to Mertens. Use the velocity sight off the main targeting site to calculate target.
Navy battleship to Mertens. Retreat from hostile craft pilot. This one is ours.
Mission complete. Opening jump gate.
Okay, apparently I am slightly awesome enough. I think I was supposed to escort that first guy, though. But once he died, that did free me up to blow things up as I
This
saw
attack confirms that tribe members are still
Ooh, no memory card. Do we have a problem? Oh, memory card 1. Okay. So I was going to save, but I still have to start at the beginning until I complete the act. Gotcha. That's just an obnoxious Colony Wars thing. Really surprised they didn't bring Colony Wars back with the whole wealth of space shooters that we had about 5 years ago. Let's see. Do I have anything else to play that's a little more interesting here? Let's go ahead and yeah, Super Puzzle Fighter Turbo. So I'm terrible at this game, and this is probably going to be the last one I play for the night here because I'm just doing a quick check of this brand new core that came out today, this PS1 core. And yes, it does seem to come with the BIOS, so that's nice. At least the updater also pulls down the BIOS from wherever it gets that from. All right. This is going to be embarrassing because arcade puzzle games, you just kind of lose your first time until you figure out the mechanics, and I'm not an expert at this one. Good old Ryu. I would have liked him in his classic colors, but I don't know what button's what. Alright, so now I guess we play kind of columns. I'll line up the greens, I'll line up red, I guess. Apparently I have to line up more than 4. Oh, is it one of those things where you have to line up? Yeah, you have to. Okay. Okay. That was very poor. Oh, I've got nothing to do with that one. Here comes some junk. Oh, I think I might have this guy. Clearly, I'm just that awesome. So one thing I did notice, and there was some dithering on that, the 2D backgrounds here. It only takes the dithering off of the 3D scenes, I've noticed, because I was playing some King of Fighters 95, testing this thing out earlier, and it was also doing, I think that the 2D dithering is actually in the art itself, so it can't really do that, instead of it being something that's applied over the entire scene relatively evenly. But that dithering switch really did help out on the Ridge Racer game. Okay, I am just terrible at this, so he should beat me any moment now. Uh-oh. Yeah, I sure Hadokened that guy. Yeah, so far the big problem that I've seen is the third of the Ace Combat games just does not like me. Huh. Alright, I lose. Alright, well this has been a kind of a fun look at the new PSX core for the MiSTer FPGA system. It's out today, so if you have a MiSTer, just go ahead and grab one here. Seems to work just fine as soon as I assigned all the buttons on my little USB controller here. But yeah, the buttons assigned fine, even though not all of these are assigned in the actual MiSTer, the menu config. Ooh, put my name in. Okay, so if you've got a MiSTer, just go ahead and check this one out today. And until next time, I guess, Reaper Man out.